Alrighty. So, why don't we start today? Let's come into a child's pose as you start today. And feel free to support yourself. If you want a bit more grounding, you can even bring like a blanket or a pillow under your chest if that feels good. And then start by either extending your arms straight out in front of you or even bringing the arms back by the sides. Start to notice your breath. Begin to deepen your breath. Start to take your breath into your Ujjayi breath. And keeping this breath with you throughout your practice today. Your current relationship with your psyche is like an addiction. It is constantly making demands of you, and you've devoted your life to serving these demands. If you want to be free, you have to learn to treat it like any other addiction. For example, drug addicts are capable of stopping the drug use, going through withdrawal, and then never doing drugs again. Maybe it isn't easy, but they are capable. The same thing is true of the addiction to the psyche. You are capable of ceasing the absurdity of listening to the perpetual problems of your psyche. You can put an end to it. You can wake up in the morning, look forward to your day, and not worry about what will happen. Your daily life can be like a vacation. Work can be fun, family can be fun. You can just enjoy all of it. That does not mean you don't do your best. You just have fun doing your best. Then at night, when you go to sleep, you let it all go. You just live your life without getting uptight or worrying about it. You actually live life instead of fearing or fighting it. And taking a couple breaths here to set an intention or a dedication for your practice. Drawing that into the heart space. Using your next inhale, start to walk your hands over towards the right side of your mat. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And then start to slide that right hand back by your right leg. Gently press into it as you twist open that right shoulder. Your head's going to fall onto your upper left arm. And just take a couple breaths here right into the mid back. Using your next exhale, start to release that twist, extending both arms and walk your hands through center. Come over towards the left side. And as you do here, just release the head. Sliding that left palm back by your left leg. And gently start to twist open here. Head comes onto the upper right arm. Left shoulder starts to open up towards the sky. Keeping the breath strong and steady. On your next exhale, start to release that twist, extend that left arm out to the side. On your next inhale, come back towards the center. And start to lift your chest here. Bring your knees together, and then tuck your toes underneath. And if you need to reach back, you can always reach back and just make sure all your toes are tucked. And then press your hips back towards your heels. And you can either let the head fall through the hands if that feels good. Just opening up your feet here. I'm trying to keep your heels pointing towards the sky, so resisting that urge to drop the heels to either side. Taking one more breath, maybe two more breaths here. Using this next inhale, start to lift your chest. And as you come into this tabletop position, separate your knees here, untuck your toes. We're going to start pressing back the other way. So start pressing your hips back towards your heels. And you've got a block. If you'd like to bring that block underneath your hips here for support. So just make sure that there's no pain in the knees as you come into this. Look down, make sure heels are just to the outside of your hips. And so move slowly because we're taking this as more of a yin pose than more of an active pose here. And so start to walk your hands back. And if you feel you can go further, maybe you're coming onto your forearms. And if you feel you can go further here in your practice, just give yourself a couple breaths here. And then as you feel things maybe start to open for you, you can move that block from underneath your hips. If you think you can come all the way down onto your back, option to go that far as long as your knees feel safe in the pose. We're just going to stay here for a few breaths, and you can let your head either drop back or tuck your chin in towards your chest. And continue to breathe here, opening up the front of the legs. And think of this as being both active and passive. So you're present, you're staying active in the pose by focusing on alignment here, focusing on the positioning of the body, making sure you're actively involved, but also relaxing, as in allowing any gripping in the legs to soften. Using the breath here to continue to lengthen out the front of the body. Just giving yourself a few more moments here to really surrender yourself into the pose. Using this next exhale, with control, start to make your way back towards that seat and then continue forward. Move really slowly here as you come out of the pose. Give yourself a couple moments if you'd like to extend opposite legs and just get some movement here back into the knees, the ankles. Everything is starting to feel a little bit more back to normal here. Come into that tabletop and flow through a few rounds of your cat and your cow. Inhaling to bow the belly down. And as you exhale, start to tuck your chin, round your spine. Press the back of the heart towards the sky. Continue this movement here, moving through your cat and your cow. Moving slowly and with control. Taking one more time through your cat and your cow. And coming back to that neutral position. Extend your right leg to the back of your mat and drop your heel. As you inhale, open up and start with that supported side plank. As you come into this side plank, start to experiment with lifting that right leg. Your left hand's going to be just underneath your shoulders, just looking down, make sure wrist is under the shoulder and the elbow. And you can choose to stay here if you want to challenge the balance a little bit and continue to open up the front of the body. And start to bend that right knee. Maybe you can find your foot or your ankle with your right hand. And really press into the top of that left foot. Find your drishti. And taking another deep breath here. And on your next exhale, start to release if you're in that bind, setting that foot down. Come back to that tabletop position. Take a round of your cat and your cow. And as you come back to that neutral position again, find your tabletop, extend that left leg back, drop the heel, inhale, open up for that supported side plank. And then either choosing to stay here, maybe you're starting to lift that left leg. And if you did this on the other side, you're starting to experiment with that bind, bending the left knee and trying to find your foot, your ankle. Taking a couple more breaths. Waiting for your next exhale, start to slowly release. Come back to that tabletop position. And this time, come into your puppy pose. Walk your hands forward here, bringing your chest down towards the ground. And your head, your neck release. Expanding the breath here into the upper back. And then your inhale, start to lift your chest and then come into your down dog. Tucking your toes, lifting the hips, pressing your chest back towards your legs. Separating your feet here, hip distance. Shaking the head out, nodding the head. Maybe even pedaling out the legs a little bit deeper. Waiting for your next exhale. Start moving towards the front of your mat and come into a forward fold. Soften the body over the legs here. Completely release your arms, release your head and your neck. And bend your knees a little bit deeper and come all the way up to stand. Sweeping the hands up towards the sky. And as you exhale, drop that right arm, take a side bend. Reach through that left hand. Continue to ground into both feet. So make sure feet are separated about hip distance. Wait for your inhale, come back towards the center. And exhale to the other side. As you inhale, come back towards the center. Interlace your fingers, flip the palms towards the ceiling, drop your chin, and then come onto your toes. Take a big stretch. strong inner thigh. Lifting a little bit higher here. And as you exhale, lower the heels, take that forward fold and find a block if your hands aren't comfortably on the ground. On your inhale, find your flat back and stay here. Keep that right arm grounded, legs stay straight. You're going to twist open with your left arm. As you take this twist, just take a moment to look at your hips. Make sure hips aren't moving in this pose. You're twisting right at your mid-back. Left hand starts to reach towards the sky. And then take that left hand behind you, back of the hand to the low back, or maybe you're sliding the fingers around to that right hip crease. Keep lifting the heart towards the chin as you reach the crown of the head forward. Use your breath here. Take 3 deep breaths just to deepen your twist first. On this next exhale, stay in your twist. You're going to bend your right knee deeply, straighten out your left leg, and then twist a little bit deeper. See if you can get into that outer hip, the outside of the leg. Maybe even feeling this all the way down to the calf or the ankle. On this next exhale, start to slowly release. Take your time to come out of the twist. Come into that forward fold. Hang out here for a moment. If you want to grab onto your big toes with your peace fingers for a little bit deeper stretch in the hamstrings, go ahead and do so. And then start to bend your elbows, pulling your chest a little bit closer to the legs. That doesn't feel good to take that deep of a stretch in the hamstrings. You can always just have the arms interlaced or the arms are heavy. Waiting for this next exhale, start to release the toes if you have it. Soften your knees slightly. Block is going to come now under your left hand if you used it. Find your flat back. Then take that inhale, sweep open with your right arm. Just make sure legs are squared, legs are straight without blocking your knees. And take that right hand, start to reach it behind you, back of the hand to the low back. You're trying to find that hip crease on the left side. Couple more full breaths, reaching the chest towards the chin, crown of the head is reaching forward. Consistently think of length as you're breathing. And begin to bend your left knee, straighten out that right leg. Maybe looking towards the sky here. One more breath here in your twist. As you exhale, start to release, come back to that forward fold. Coming back to the big toes or coming back to the interlace of the elbows, the forearms. Take about 5 to 8 breaths here. Just allow the body to hang, allow the body to be passive, actively being aware of the position of your body, but just allowing any gripping to release and the weight of the upper body to come a little bit closer towards the legs. If there's any sensitivity in the back, you can always keep your knees a little bit softer. On this next exhale, start to release the toes if you have them. Bend your knees even deeper and then come all the way up to stand. Sweeping the hands up towards the ceiling. Take that inhale. And as you exhale, drop your right arm, come back to that side bend. Take 2, 3 breaths here. Reach through the left fingers. Wait for your inhale, come back towards the center. As you exhale, change sides. On your next inhale, come back towards the center. Interlace both fingers, flip the palms up. Exhale, drop your chin. Then come on to your toes. Big stretch, big balance here. On your next exhale, release the heels. Bring your hands to heart center. Closing your eyes. Come back to your breath. Come back to your intention. As you inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift the arms, add on. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, step back to plank, hold plank. You can always set knees down if you need to. Take another inhale here, and on your exhale, come all the way down to your stomach, either from push-up or with knees. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Inhale for cobra. Lift your chest. Hug your elbows in. Reach through the crown of the head. Lifting a little bit higher here. As you exhale, start to lower down and press back to down dog or child's pose. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale, let it go. Using your next exhale, move to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, step back to plank, hold plank. Taking an inhale here. On your exhale, come all the way down, either from plank or from the knees lower. This time, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers or grab opposite elbows or forearms. Start by lifting the shoulders, draw the shoulder blades onto the back. Then start to lift your chest, option to lift your legs. If you have the space to do so, start to lift the arms off the body. Wait for your next exhale, lower yourself down, and then press back to down dog or child's pose. Your next exhale, move to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, step back to plank, hold plank. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, come all the way down to your stomach. This time, if you have a block accessible, take that block at your low back, grab onto the short side of the block. So not the long, thin side, but the shortest side of the block. Grab that between your hands, try to extend your arms behind you. Squeeze the palms into the short side of the block. Start by just lifting shoulders here. Squeeze the block, lift the shoulders. Option to lift your chest. Option to lift your legs. Just kind of see where you're at with this. You should be feeling this in the back of the arms. Make sure shoulders are coming down from the ears. Notice your breath, deep breath. And on your next exhale, start to lower yourself all the way down. Release that block out of the way. Then press yourself back to either down dog or child's pose. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale, let it go. Using your next exhale, come onto your knees and face the side of your mat. Doesn't matter which side, just fold over the front and the back part of your mat at least once or twice. Make sure you've got enough cushion here for your body and for your knees. And you're gonna bring your knees as wide as the folded part of your mat. So just adjust that fold so that you've got your knees as wide as they go, but where they're also on the folded part of your mat. And then either toes tuck in and you're more on the top of the toes, or you're more on the side of the foot, toes out. So one way is probably gonna feel a little bit better for your knee. Shins are parallel with each other, so they're not coming back towards the center like you would in child's pose. And from here, this might be enough for you. You can stay hands on a block. You can move forearms onto a block, forearms onto the ground. If you've got a block or some extra cushion here, you can bring those blocks under the forehead and maybe the low ribs if you want that support. Doesn't matter where you want to go with this. Your biggest thing is that your shins are parallel with one another and that you're not experiencing any pain in your knees. So if there is pain in the knees, then come onto your back and take happy baby. And we'll stay here for a few moments. So as you're in this pose, just look back, make sure hips are squared, pressing hips back towards the heels. And just notice and become aware of your experience here. So notice if you're interlacing the fingers, if there's tension or gripping in the palms. And then even start to notice your jaw. I'm trying to release maybe slight space in between the teeth here. Become aware of your neck, and if there's any way that you can release more tension, maybe that's with some sort of prop underneath the forehead, or maybe even just letting the head be heavy. And finding that balance here in the shoulders of being actively involved to keep the upper body upright, but also releasing the tension so there's no unnecessary tension here. And shoulders continue to move down from the ears. And bringing all of your awareness to your breath, full deep breaths. Continue to deep breathe into your stomach. Using those exhales, try to release that inner thigh, maybe even starting to feel the legs move a little bit further apart. On this next exhale, take your time, very, very slowly start to come out of the pose. Whatever that graceful way is for you to come out of the pose, and then just unfold your mat here. Come into that tabletop position. Just take a few hip circles, so get that movement back into your hip joint. It doesn't have to be a very big movement, but just get a little bit of movement here. Changing the directions. And as you're coming back towards the center, towards the top of that circle, go ahead and release and come on to your seat and extending your legs straight out in front of you. Moving that skin from underneath your sits bones. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall here. You can always sit on a prop if you need. Take that inhale, lift and lengthen. And then as you exhale, start to fold forward. If you need to bend the knees a little bit here, if there's any sensitivity in the back, you can always do that. And then you're reaching for shins, for ankles, for feet. Doesn't matter how far you fold today. Just continue to focus on that length in your back. And I want you to close your eyes. And in this fold, don't worry about how close the chest is towards the leg. I want you to visualize in your mind that with every exhale, your body is getting even closer to the legs. Maybe it's happening, maybe it's not, it doesn't matter. Just focusing in your mind that sensation of the body, the upper body, moving closer to the thighs. Focusing on that feeling, that concept, that idea of surrender. Taking a few more breaths like this. And this next exhale, begin to slowly lift your chest. And as you come up, come into that comfortable seat. And if you would like to sit on something for that comfortable seat, you can. So as you're coming into that seat here, with your non-dominant hand, bring your thumb and your ring fingertip to touch. Non-dominant hand, thumb and ring fingertip to touch. Just press that hand on your lap. Dominant hand, first and middle finger at your third eye. Thumb and ring finger on either side of your nose. And take a round of breath. Inhale. Exhale the air. And your inhale, close the right nostril. Inhale left. Closing both, open the right, exhale. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. And release the breath control, drop your chin. And start to move on to your back. As you come onto your back, draw both knees in towards the chest. Taking a happy baby here if you'd like. And start to release your happy baby. Draw the knees back in and drop them over towards the right side. As you come over towards that right side, option here to either keep your knees bent or you can straighten out your legs towards the right side. And if you're doing that, then you're making sure that your ankles, knees, and hips are stacked. So you're coming all the way on top of your right hip. And then tee your arms out to the sides. And that's going to give you just a little bit different sensation of a twist in your back. So if your legs are straight, again, just make sure that you're stacking your hips and that this twist is happening right at your low ribs and not your low back. On your next inhale, come back towards the center. And dropping those legs over towards the left. As you inhale, come back towards the center. And start to set yourself up for your meditation. As you're coming into your meditation, find that comfortable position here. Start to soften the body and close the eyes. And start to soften the breath. And tuning into the feelings of the sensations of the body as you move into stillness on the mat. And start to direct your breath towards the base of the body, cultivating that sense of support and grounding. Begin to notice the length of the inhale and the exhale. And start to lengthen out your exhale even more. With every exhale, deepening your sense of grounding. Becoming aware of all the points of contact between your body and the earth. Imagine as if you were growing roots down into the earth. With each inhale, feel the roots start to spread outward. Going deeper and deeper. And with each exhale, tune into that subtle energy of the earth below, drawing that energy up through the roots into the body. And taking some time to sense this energy moving through your entire body, allowing you to embody all of the earth's essential qualities. And begin by becoming fully present within your physical being. And taking several breaths to inhabit your body completely, from the crown of the head to the soles of the feet. With a greater sense of presence, start to embody the quality of security, allowing you to feel safe and supported at each step of your journey. Becoming fully present with this greater sense of security. Start to experience this complete equanimity, allowing you to meet all of your challenge with patience and grace. And with this greater presence, again, tuning into that subtle energy of the earth, drawing that energy up through the roots and sensing your oneness with nature's cycles and seasons. Allowing you to feel at home on earth at all times and places. And as you integrate all of the earth's essential qualities, you open to receive its rich bounty, providing for all of your needs. Feeling at one with the living earth, experiencing complete harmony, and feeling fully supported at each moment of your journey. And as you tap into that grounding, and increase that grounding sensation, you tune in more easily to your true being. Start to slowly come back to your awareness. Begin to deepen your breath. Bringing small movements into your fingers and your toes. Rolling around the wrists and the ankles. And as you're ready, start to extend your arms. Take a full stretch here. Big inhale. And exhale, audible sigh. And rolling over to one side. Bringing your hands to heart center. And bowing into yourself in gratitude for taking this time for you. Knowing that where we are right now is exactly where we need to be. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Om Shanti Peace. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.